good, fam? It's Mr. Kelly with Good to the Hood, talking about anything and everything that impacts the culture. And today I kind of want to do a quick review over a podcast that Mike Tyson, former heavyweight champion, legendary, iconic Iron Mike Tyson, had a podcast and he had Eminem on there. So let's go ahead and review that a little bit. So if you don't know anything about Mike Tyson, guy, I don't know where you've been. He was definitely huge there in my day. Reinvented himself through The Hangover and that kind of thing. But Mike Tyson is iconic. In all honesty, I was never a huge Mike Tyson fan. Never slept on his skills. Never tried to say anything bad about that. But I was back then with the heavyweight fighting, and when I was younger, I was definitely a Evander Holyfield fan. But I never slept on Mike. Obviously, the dude was savage. He was knocking cats out like lickety split. But anyway, so Mike Tyson has a podcast, which I didn't even really fully know he had a podcast. So that was already news to me. But on this particular podcast, he had Eminem, and I've been wanting to do a piece on Eminem for a while, and I'm probably going to do another one. But they kind of had a conversation, and what's crazy to me is I've been seeing Eminem pop up a lot, like doing a lot of blogs and showing up on podcasts and just kind of being out there more than he has been in quite some time. Quite some time. Like I venture to say 15 years. Like Eminem is always in hiding, it seems, right? He's not the only one. Like, Dr. Dre, you never see or hear anything about Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre might be more elusive than M, to be honest. But of course, as a producer, it's easier to do that because you can be in the lab, be in the cave, and it's not required for you to come out to the public eye. As a rapper, it's a little bit different. You kind of got to be out there a little bit more so. But anyway, so M's coming out of hiding and doing a lot of talks and stuff. And so one of the things that I thought was interesting was Mike Tyson was talking about, which made sense, but Mike Tyson was talking about how him being one of the greatest boxers of all time, which Eminem had said he was, and I agree with that. That he was a great fighter, and his aggression was intense, and he was so intense, and that served him well in his craft, being a boxer, but it didn't serve him well in his life. And I actually have to listen to more of the podcast to really see. He didn't really go into depth. I listened to about a good 15 minutes worth of it. That they kind of veered off on some other stuff, and so, but I could see that. Obviously, it's kind of like the guy that's, let's say you have anger management issues and you're a boxer or a UFC fighter or something. You could see where that could be like, okay, that could play into being good at your craft, right? Like, you have this natural adrenaline and this ability to turn it on and just go beast mode. But you can't function in everyday life like that. So he said that, and he was comparing it to M, where if somebody pisses Eminem off, and it just unleashes all kinds of, his verbal assault and how he can belittle people and cut them down and just be real creative about how he does that. And that serves him well in his craft, but not in the real world, which I could see that as well. Because, being mean-spirited and whatever is not going to serve you well in your personal life. So a piece, though, that was in that interview that was really like, what in the heck is Mike talking about? When they were talking about all of that, Mike was like, said this to Eminem. He says, you're the only white guy that knows what it's like to be an N-word, right? And I heard that and I was like, are you crazy? I'm all, and he was kind of like trying to say, like, because M had to earn his spot and wasn't taken serious and wasn't given an opportunity because of his skin color and whatever. And I'm like, no, because M has even had interviews where M said what helped him actually was being white. Like maybe getting his foot in the door, sure. But M said that he wouldn't be as big as he is if it wasn't for the fact that he's white. And I agree with that. If Eminem is saying that himself, at least it shows that he's not arrogant and he's very self-aware and can look at the whole situation for really what it is. Now, this isn't taking anything away from his credit. Obviously, you're not even going to get signed or get to that point unless you have the skills. But the thing is, Eminem wouldn't be Eminem if he wasn't white. And by that, what I'm saying is he had license and had the ability to talk a way, especially back then, maybe not now, but back then in a way that a brother couldn't rap and make it. Like Eminem, when he built the whole shock factor. So he was able to talk mad trash about his baby mama to the point of like, oh, I'm going to kill her, right? Talking about killing his mom, like all this craziness. You couldn't do that as a black rapper, right? And being a good rapper and making good songs, two different things. So I know I'm going to probably get smashed with the Eminem fans. And don't get me wrong, look, one of the greatest of all time. If you see my other video on the top 10, M's absolutely top 10. But we got to take all facts and all things into consideration here. Like, as lyrical as M is, if he was just a black dude and was that lyrical, he'd be Method Man. He'd be Redman. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't be this juggernaut that he is right now. And let's face it, M also got away with things that a black rapper couldn't do. Like, he was picking on boy bands, right? He's picking on pop stars like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and like I said, the boy bands with NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and all that. If a black rapper came out and was talking the same trash, specifically at that time in the early 2000s, he wasn't going to go platinum for that. I mean, that's just is what it is. That can be a whole other video. But I'm just saying, for Mike Tyson to be talking about Eminem is the only white guy that knows what it's like to be black is like, that's crazy. In fact, this topic was talked about also on some other platforms. I think Breakfast Club had a little something on it. I think Bossip had a little something on it. So maybe they have a little bit more to say about it. But I'm just like, that's crazy. Like, Mike, you're legendary, but you're definitely, yeah, I'm not even. So anyway, so that's that. Go ahead, hit me up in the comments. I'm interested to see what other people have to say. I know, like I said, M is one of the greatest, but he ain't been a part of the black experience at all. Like, let's keep it a hondo, right? So anyway, this is Mistah Kelly with Good to the Hood. Hit that subscribe button if you would, please. I'd greatly appreciate it. Hit that like button as well. Give me some suggestions for some other topics you'd like for me to cover. But this is Mistah Kelly, Good to the Hood. Peace.